Hi everybody, all my followers, welcome to another video. This video today is on a 2000, is it 2000? Mercedes A-Class. I'm not sure which engine is on this, I just know it's a diesel engine. Yeah, so it's a 2000 Mercedes A-Class. This car came to me because it failed its MOT. And as you can see in there, there's three reasons for the car to fail. The reason why the car came to me is number 3: electronic stability system warning lamp indicates a fault. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Try to see if we can fix this. So I have the engine running, and there's a little bit of glare, but as you can see, we have the BAS ESP light on. And I haven't scanned the car yet, so I don't have a clue what might gonna be wrong with it. But we're gonna do it now. We're gonna do a scan on this. Oops. And hopefully we'll find out. Come on. Okay, so he failed to read the VIN number, so we're gonna have to put the VIN manually. Okay, so it was a little bit of too much glare over there. So anyway, as soon as I put the VIN manually, he read he decoded the car straight away. Is a W168 and is a A170, and we're gonna go diagnosis. I'm gonna go straight to control unit. That's gonna be chassis, I think. Yes. Okay, let's gonna read the codes. Ta-da! Okay, brake assist system BAS release switch is stored in current. The system is deactivated. Steering sensor has now been initialized. That's a store code. So this is the one that is given as default. So C1201. The component is A7/7S1 brake assist system BAS release switch. So as far as I'm aware, this switch, if I'm not mistaken, is a switch that is fitted at the brake booster, somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go. Well, might connect the Mercedes machine and diagrams, or let me see on my server if I have any information in there for this, so I can take you through. But yeah, I believe it's a sensor that is fitted at the brake booster. So hang on a second. Okay, so I knew I had something on my server for these because I've did some work in the past on a similar car, which I never recorded. It was well before the YouTube. So anyway, so our code, as you can see in there, is C1201. So C1201, so release brake switch open circuit, release switch short circuit, and a release switch short to ground. So that's what can be, but we knew these already anyway, so we knew it would be something like this. Okay, I don't think Maxis shows me the live data for this. It's gonna. Let me try to find out. Okay, so this is not exactly the brake booster we have in there, but we can see S1 here, switch 1, which is right there. Okay, and that's obviously release switch BAS, it's correct. So brake booster A7 1.7, so that's the component, which is the brake booster, and then we have the switch inside, which is that one in there. Now, so B1 is actually our membrane travel sensor, which is connected to the outside. So the release switch, I need to figure out, is going to be one of the other ones then. So there is two plugs in there, one for the travel switch, which I know which one is. So the other plug at the brake booster is going to have to be the one that's going to go to S1, and it's going to have to be the one that goes to Y1, which is solenoid valve, and is the only two switches in there. So it's going to be the other plug in there. We just need to figure out. I think it's here as well. Okay, we don't have these Mercedes fancy brake boxes, so we're gonna have to go straight to our pinouts. I actually have the machine, the Mercedes machine, the start machine over there, but I don't wanna. So 12. Okay. So this is to check voltage and stuff like that. That's for the, hang on, 1201, no, there's nothing here. So this is for our membrane travel sensor. And we don't have nothing here for the switch, because the switch, I believe, is going to be just a on-off switch really. But we have here some connectors. So I think I have this one for the travel membrane for that sensor, and then I think there's two plugs here. What will be the other one for? Oh, this is for the one that has the module by the brake booster. We don't have the module by the brake booster. I will show you in a minute. We only have the plugs that from there they go to whatever. So membrane travel sensor B1. Okay, so then that's the signal. So there is 3 wires for that on connector 1, which is that connector in there, which we don't need to worry about. This one, connector 2, which just says connector 2, and then we have one that is black. So that N48 BAS control module. So we don't have this module over there. So my other plug is going to be that one, because it's the only one in there. So plug number 3 will be the actually connections to the module itself, which the module is going to be elsewhere, because I don't think I'm going to have another look, but I don't think the module is over there. So that means I have this plug at the brake booster. That then obviously there is a cable that goes into this N48. I have number 2, which is for the switches, and obviously number 3 we don't know where it is, but this one comes out from my brake booster and comes obviously in the N48 as well. So it's connected, number 2 that we are looking for. And as we can see here, we have, okay, so we have release switch BAS 1. Okay, so we have pin number 2. So pin number 1 and number 2 is going to be our normally closed and normally open contacts, and pin number 5 is going to be our signal. The other 2 are going to be for the solenoid valve, so we don't need those 2. So there is 3 things we need to check. Or there is 3 things here that can be failing, and that's what we're going to have a look at. So this is what I was saying. So my BAS unit is not actually here. On that drawing shows the unit here somewhere, but my one is not here. I just have the plugs, as I said, and they obviously go from here to whatever the module is. But here I have my membrane travel sensor, as you can see, and then I have my other one, which is for the switch. I'm sure it is. So that's what we're gonna have to have a look at. Let me unplug this. Want to check connections and stuff. It's not coming out. Okay, we're gonna have to unplug this and have a look at this, but yeah, this is gonna be our plug for the S1 and Y1. So for the, what was that? For the solenoid and for the switch. I hope we don't need to take the wall brake booster, or actually replace the brake booster. I really hope not. So we got this unplugged. There's no signs of corrosion or anything like that here. Everything looks good. Obviously inside the wires as well, they look all proper connected. So obviously this is wires that goes inside to the solenoid and switch, which means providing all this is good, the chances are we have a problem inside the brake booster, and that is no good. So what we're doing now is we're gonna test the switch here. So we have connected pin number 5, which is a signal, and at the moment I have the other one connected to the normally open, so to pin number 2, to the normally open contact, yeah. And we're gonna check. Normally, hang on a minute. Yeah, to the normally open, and look at what we have in there. So I'm not pressing the brake, as you can see, and we have 0.2 ohms. And look, when I press open line, close, open line, close. And that is connected to the normally open, which it should be normally open now, unless this diagram is wrong. We're now going to connect, but nevertheless it's going from zero, from open line to actually nearly 0 ohms or 0.1 ohms, which means this side of the switch is absolutely fine. Now we're going to check the normally closed, so which is pin number 1, so 5 and number 1. Just gonna switch that, and then we're gonna do the same. Okay, so we are now on pin 5 and 1. So same thing again. We have open line. I think those that diagram is telling me the other way around. The normally closed is actually the normally open, but anyway, so we're showing you open line. So when I press the brake, it should go 0 ohms. But look what it does. Goes to 0.37 kilo ohms. Look at that. Doesn't matter how I press it, it never goes to 0. Sorry about the glare, guys. I know it's not very good, but I hope you can read anyway. That is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So every time I press, it goes to like K ohms, no, 280 ohms, whatever that is. So anyway, I think it's easy to see that providing the diagrams are good, that is not working. So I think it's gonna be a brake booster out. Otherwise there's nothing we can do. Okay, and just before we move any forward, removing the brake booster, obviously we had to do a check between the plug and the actually BAS unit. All the 3 wires for the switch are absolutely fine. So yeah, we're gonna start to remove the brake booster. That's the next step. Okay, to remove the brake booster, first things first. First I've drained the oil, just with a little pipe and gravity. We took it off. We took the clutch pipe, we just cover it up, and now I'm going to take these 2 lines here. They run from here to the ABS unit, so we're going to take them at these ends. They should be able to get out of the way for the brake booster to come out. We might going to have to move these as well because it's a little bit in the way. So yeah, Okay, so to make our life easier, we removed the actually cylinder first. So there's only 2 bolts, everything else has been removed. And now you have 2 bolts or 2 nuts on the other side, inside the car, in the direction of these 2 studs here. So right at the other end, there's 2 nuts you need to take, and the booster should then come off. And the brake booster is out. Just as I said, you have 2 nuts on the other end, and that just comes out. You need to move these pipes out of the way a little bit, but not very difficult. Okay, and you guys know me, I couldn't leave this alone. So this is our switch. Okay, so when you press the brake, I'm gonna try to do this. Hang on a minute, let me get the stand. Now with the stand we can do this. Let me... So when we press the brake, this is roughly what happens in there. I don't know if you can hear the switch. I can definitely hear it. Come on, focus. So there it is. The first thing I'm going to do is confirm actually that this, now that we can follow the wires, I can actually check the wires right here. We can then 100% confirm that the switch is gone, but hopefully we did the correct diagnose from the beginning. Okay, so I'm sure you can see the reading on the screen. I remove the switch, all you do is pull it out, that's it, not rocket science. And so our middle wire here is going to be our common wire. I've checked from here to the pins we were checking earlier, and they are absolutely correct, everything was fine. We were measuring it right. So the top one, this is a little bit off to make good contact. Okay, so this is the normally open or normally closed one is in place, but anyway, normally whatever. So it's open line. If I press 1.1 ohms, which is absolutely fine. Open line 0.9, so that's fine. Then the bottom one is the one that should be now reading 0 ohms or close to 0. So when I press this open line, it's absolutely fine. When I release, it should go to 0 ohms. But look at that, it's about 80 ohms and this is because it's not in place. Because when this is in place, the system, the way it works, it doesn't allow the full pressure back. So there's always a little bit of pressure on these plates. And as you can see when I start to press, look at that. See the readings? Even before it clicks. So this is open line. If I just release until it clicks inside, that's it. Look at that. Look at that. So that was the readings we were getting earlier. So K ohms, if I fully leave the plate, it comes down to better readings. So yeah, so this switch obviously is buggered. The whole thing because of a little micro switch. And the problem is this is sealed and I'm not going to be able to open this, I think. I don't think I'm going to be able to open this and clean it or something like that. So what I'm going to do with this, nevertheless, let's going to take it to the workshop. You never know. You never know. Oh, just curiosity, on this side, over there inside, we have the travel. This pin here is the membrane travel switch sensor. Okay, goes in and out, as you can see. So yeah, let's gonna take it to the workshop and see what we can do. Okay, so what have we done here? I managed to remove, I don't know how good the camera is gonna see, but I managed to remove a little bit of this white sort of cover, sort of a rubbery thing that covers this the switch up in there. As you can see, the switch is in there. I don't know if you can hear it clicking. And I've just sprayed a little bit of alcohol. This alcohol, let it to soak a little bit. Then I've I've just started to cycle the switch on and off, and then with some electrical cleaner, electric contact cleaner, I've just sprayed Leroy a lot, really a lot, to try clean the inside of this. And it's still a little bit wet, I think it is a little bit, but I wanna show you this. So let's gonna measure it again. So this is the one that when we press should go. Can you see the screen? Yes, you can. Is the one that when we press it should go to as close to 0 ohms as possible. So closed circuit. There we go, 0.5. I don't know if you can hear the click. Working fine. And the lower one, if you remember, is the one that didn't have any readings. Look at these readings now. And what I want to show you as well is that I'm gonna press until obviously it switches to the other side. There we go. And now I'm gonna start to release until it switches again. And if you remember, that's where the problem was. Or it would get better if I would leave completely. It would get better, but never to here. Never to here. It never got this low. So I'm gonna press, and now I'm gonna start to release. I don't know if you can hear it, guys, but I'm gonna just start to release, and as soon as it clicks, I will stop. There it is. That's it. Look at that, 0.5 straight away. You remember those high readings of kilo ohms? So that's gone. So I think it was just a cleaning thing. I'm not going to replace this brake booster. No way. So all I'm going to do now, make sure there's nothing inside. I don't know if I'm going to be able to refit this. If I'm going to be able to refit this. But I'll have a go. Just to protect a little bit from getting grease inside and stuff. Maybe with a little bit of super glue, just keep in place. And so I'm gonna try to put this back on in there. And it's not very good. And then we're gonna start to put everything back together and put it on the car. Okay, it's looking really good. Look at that. I know it might doesn't look good, but it's still working. We're gonna put the little lever back in place, and I just want to take you through one thing. Was a little accident that happened. This white thing has 2 tabs, one here, one here, and they were really brittle. As soon as I pressed them to pull these out, they snapped. So what I've done is I put 2 screws. I don't know how good you can see. I put 2 screws that goes all the way up to the top. Oh, come on, up to the top of this base at the bottom, one on each side, and that just holds these from coming out. So that's all I've done. Yeah, so it won't come off. That's it, job done. But yeah, they were very brittle, these little tabs on here on the side. So yeah, so we're gonna put everything back on. I'm going to close the brake booster again, and put it on a car. Is all the reverse. Obviously there's no rocket science there, so I will see you back when I have everything connected again. We're gonna have to bleed the brakes. I don't need to take you through the bleed the brakes, but as far as we can get rid of the fault, that's all we need. Just one thing before we start to put everything back together. Obviously these rubbers, these here slides on this seal here, and we're just gonna obviously re-grease everything while you have it off. Just make sure you put everything greased up so it lasts a little bit longer. A few tips: when you put this back on, obviously make sure the membrane is in the right place, sitting properly, and when you push these ones down again, these is kind of these things here, they are curved. So more you push it down on the edge, more pressure is going to make these two parts one against each other. So obviously before, originally it was just a little bit in the middle, but now I pushed it all the way pretty much as I could on every single one, So we make sure that the pressure is so we make sure this is proper sealed, and we don't have any boost leaks or vacuum leaks, I would say. So yeah, all back together, put it on the car and see what happens. Okay, so everything is put back together. Just fill the oil just for the level sensor. Obviously we still need to bleed the brakes, but it's time to try. It's time to try. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if I'm probably gonna have to delete the codes. It's gonna start the engine. And look at that. I'm pressing the brake. Look at that. It's gone straight away. So let me, for example, just release the parking brake, make sure that will go. Yeah. Sorted. Sorry, Leon. Resolved. So let's gonna just it's gonna diagnose the system again, and that fault is now gonna be stored, obviously. There we go. So obviously that was because everything we've been doing. I had the brake switch, the stop lamp underneath there disconnected and all that stuff, the solenoid valve, so everything has been disconnected obviously. So all the faults are now stored, so there's no active faults. We're gonna clear the faults. Let's kind of do the cycle ignition. So obviously they are off because we are obviously scanning the system. So it's gonna turn the ignition off, wait for 10 seconds. It's gonna start the engine again. And let's gonna press yes. Let's gonna read the codes again. No codes. So let's gonna log out of this ECU. So the lights goes off. So let's gonna log out. And that's it. So obviously I have pretty much no brakes because we need to bleed the brakes. But look at this. The switch is now working absolutely fine. Okay, so I looked for that switch, to be fair with you, before I went to the route of doing what we've done. I couldn't find those switches for sale. I don't think a lot of people will take this repair at that sort of level. I believe most of the places they would just replace the brake booster. So I couldn't find the switch for sale. But yeah, we got it sorted. We got it resolved. So that's it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some info here that can help you out. If you have any comments, any suggestions, you know, put them below. And like always, thanks so much for watching.